Hey guys, hope all is well. Hope you're doing good. Welcome and welcome back. Thank you guys for the support. Now, this video is going to be a quick one. This is on dream and multiple visions I have. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm talking out of my ears. But this initial dream was a few years ago. And I just kind of sat on it a little bit because I kind of knew the energy around it, but now I keep getting more and more visions and more messages around it, and it really keeps happening. So I said, okay, let me just share, especially now when I was in the middle of it, because I was ready to get from over here. But this was a few years ago that I had a dream that it was a massive flood in my hometown. Now that's in Baton Rouge. What was real unique about this and what made it so unique is that other people noticed it too, is that the way the rain was falling, and it did look like more over Baton Rouge, kind of going into like the Baker, Zachary, East Louisiana area. It literally looked like the sky, like someone had just tore it like a piece of paper, and that buckets were just pouring out. The message I kept getting, this is going to make 2016 look like a sprinkle. Now, if you remember 2016 in Baton Rouge, there was most of the half of the city was underwater. It was really bad. Even in my area, I was heavily guided. That's another video because that's going to be on faith, because 2 days after the flood, I thought I was okay in my area, and then the canal by my house broke, and it immediately flooded my neighborhood with flood water. And I tried to hurry up and pack and leave, but everyone that was in cars, they had no choice but to basically turn around and go back home because they were going to get stuck. The only people that were able to leave out had pickup trucks. So that's when they sent in rescues. And I kid you not, and that was like I said, that's going to be about the faith and listening to your messages, because it was weird, but if I hadn't, I would have listened. But they sent in boats to evacuate. And I kept being told not to get in that boat, to just stay home, call on Yemaya, and work with the water, push the water back. And I did, and my house didn't flood, but the houses around me did get water in them. But anyway, it was a mess in 2016. What I saw, I keep getting the message that it's going to make 2016 look like a sprinkle. Every time I get these type of visions, that's why sometimes I don't like when I see them, but I still have to accept them and pay attention to them, because they will literally start just looping through my consciousness if I don't. But the same way, like I just mentioned, like probably like 2.5 months ago, I will walk through my den, and anytime I glance at my front door, I would have to do a double take and look, because it looked like my door was about this far open. And I knew what I saw. I was like, why am I being shown my front door open? So I was like, okay, when you're being gang stalked, especially when you have a demonic, thick-backed beast of a mother who's the head of the gang stalking, then, you know, that kind of answers that. But a few more times I saw, when I would walk through, pass and glance at the door, I would always get a clip. It was like a superimposed image over my door, of my door sitting open. But when I would blink hard and look again, my door would be locked. Sure enough, a few weeks later, somebody broke in my house. And that's exactly how I found my door. Is exactly the way I saw it. So I'm just going to say this. a lot of places are being cleansed. No matter what oracle deck that I use, people are always being guided to get away from negative people. That's why I always put the astrocartography link so you can see where you're supposed to be, especially if you're still living in your hometown. So you can see the energy of your hometown. See where you're supposed to be, because that chart is real important right now. Get away from certain people, because the messages that I have been getting, that it's not just going to be Louisiana, the one I saw, as I said, that is coming. And it's weird because I have an odd feeling a lot of these are going to come between here and the end of the year. So it's not just Louisiana. I keep getting messages there's going to be a lot of other places too. That's why they are pushing and stressing for people to do the healing work. The separation is happening. The planet is ascending. And they're literally waging war on you to keep the frequency down. But this can't be stopped. It's already in motion. It already started. So if you're being guided away from people, get away from them, because they could very well be in an area that's going to be struck. In the last 20, especially being in Louisiana, I have seen 2 different places get hit horribly by natural disasters, places that are notorious for black magic, and they saw extreme devastation. So at this point, where this age is closing down and we're starting a new age, same thing is going to happen. And it's weird because in a new cycle, everything is going to be based on your frequency. It's not going to matter. That's why the healing work is necessary. It's not going to matter how, if you still holding on to hurt and pain, it's not going to matter how it occurred. If you are still vibrating at a low frequency, you're going to a lower timeline. Or just when that flash happened, that's another story. We're not going to get into that here. But it's really important to get out of these places, because it's like, the planet is purging. So I'll just say that it's a purge. It's an energetic purge. And everything is going to be based on your frequency. And I think that's why I kept getting like little hits. They say like Noah's Ark. And as far as the art goes, that's going to be depending on your frequency. Is your frequency, are you vibrating high enough to survive the flash? So, that's it. I have another one coming up in a little bit, especially when I got this heat box, but it was just on my spirit to go ahead and just do that one now. So thank you guys. See you on the next.